Hey y'all, this is Cindy. I'm the Tireless Tangler, and you've arrived at day 38 of the 100 Days of Zentangle Project 2020. Thank you all so much for being with me today. Our tangle is going to be Ocean's 13 by Marion Seidel Seidel. And this is a really cool pattern, and I had a request from somebody to put pictures in at the beginning so you're not drawing blind, and that's not an unreasonable request, so I went for it. This is our basic element, and what we're going to do is put this in a grid and have some fun. And you can do this as a focal point, so one single element on your tile, or you can do many. So let's see how this goes. Excuse me, my allergies are going crazy today. And I have been sneezing and coughing and all kinds of fun stuff, but I am all right. Okay, so to do this today, I am going to, I don't know why I do this because I so frequently do not pay any attention, but I'm still going to start with my 4 dots. And while I'm putting those in, I'm going to take a minute and I'm going to invite you to join me and breathe in through your nose, if you can, out through your mouth. Take another one. Good. As you're drawing in your border, I want you to appreciate the fact that we are drawing together, me and my little dots. Appreciate the fact that there are no mistakes in Zentangle. And so despite the fact that my little corner dots are elsewhere today, I'm going to appreciate it. All right. So once I have penciled in my dots and my border lines, I am going to draw a square grid. Okay. I'm probably not going to make them small because I think the fun for this pattern is going to be in the details. And so if we put too many, it will be all about the tiny spaces and not about the details. And you know me, I like the details. So I think I'm considering either doing a 4 square or maybe 6. So I would need 3 if I did 6. Yes, you heard me do math. Run screaming for the hills. We may never come back. And as I was drawing these dot grids, or these square grids last week, I realized that if I would wait to put the last line on, then I wouldn't have that problem with having too much. So that's how I'm going to handle it today, and hope that I can get it right going this direction. So I need to fit 3 in here. So divide this in about thirds. Wow. For me, that's a darn good square grid. Okay, for the single element, you want to start in the middle with a small circle. Just in the middle of your square. Just do the best you can. It doesn't have to be perfect. And I want you to go around and put a parallel line around, called an aura, or an aura, depending on where you are in the country. Okay, that's simple enough. To draw these diagonal lines from the center circle into the corner of each of these, or into each corner, turning our tile as we go. And if you're working on something else, that can still usually turn unless you're working really large. So this is our next step, okay? Now we're going to divide each one of these triangle forms in half as well by drawing a straight line from the center straight out to the edge of the square. And you're going to do that in each one of the little gaps, okay? So we should have something that looks like this now. And now we're going to put something else in, not quite divide each one of these, but we're going to put another line in each one of these. It's going to be pointed. What we're going to want is radiating outwards. So start at the center or start at the outside and come in towards the center. And you're going to want to put these about halfway up. Let me show you what I mean. So in each section, I want you to put a little half size line in there, right in the middle, and just draw that down to that middle circle again. This is very repetitive. And so far we've had circles and straight lines, so that's not very hard, which is a bonus for me. All right. So now we're just going to connect these, okay? Each short line is going to get connected. Oops, I forgot one here, didn't I? Now, guys, when you connect these, go easy at the ends. It is really easy to have a messy line here. And since we're going to be putting these together and matching them up, it's really nice to have clean lines, which is something I struggle with. So I'm going to pay extra attention to where I'm stopping and starting. And I'm going to take my time. And you can see the pattern has already emerged. This is it. Not hard at all. And each time you turn your tile, you just hook it up. Now, isn't that pretty and simple? Right? So now I'm going to fill this in all of the squares, and I'm very tempted to have some fun, which I'm probably going to do. But in these, I'm going to do these in the cross straight, and then I will do the corners funky, and we'll see how it goes. So once again, I'm going to start with circles in the middle. And I'm going to draw an aura around them. It could be close in, it could be further out. You can play with it and see how it goes. Now, we are going to do these by hooking them up exactly the same way we did on the others, okay? And I'm going to do something a little bit different in the square, in these corner squares. I'm going to shift the circle to a different spot in the square and see if I can get some fun looks out of this. I'm going to put this close into the corner up here, because I think that's going to give us something fun. That doesn't really seem like much of a difference, but it really is. Just trust me. And put this one down here. And I think I'll do the same thing. Just put this circle on the corner square is a little bit further down towards the corner. And it's really close. And I think this is going to be fun, okay? So I'm going to start with the normal ones, the regular ones, the ones that follow the pattern more closely. And I'm going to start with my diagonal lines from the center out to each corner. Okay, I'm going to do these on all of the squares. Okay. And I'm not doing these in any particular order. I want to do the ones that are going to conform more normally first so that nobody gets confused about the steps. And I'll go back and do the ones. Whoop. Hello, Simba. Oh. Whoa. That's some pretty singing, bud. That's some pretty singing. Thank you, baby. That was so good. Yeah, I know. Say hi to Karma, huh? So Simba says hi. He loves the siren singing. Okay, so now in these boxes where the center circle is not in the center, we're going to handle those the exact same way. Just that some of these lines are going to be longer and some are going to be shorter, right? So we're still going to do it diagonally to the corners. It's going to be a little off kilter. Something like this, okay? And you want to try to line up your diagonals, but again, some of these we've moved them quite a ways, and so it won't be the exact same look. That's all right. You know, I like to put in extra stuff so it's more interesting. Because my life isn't interesting enough as it is, I guess. What am I thinking? Boring is good. So I am really excited. In a couple of days, we are going to start our project in conjunction with the channel Tangle and Inspire. That is the channel of my friend Aishwarya Darba from India, and she was the one that did the tangle for us while I was in the hospital. And she is going to be doing a Zentangle journaling project. And we are going to do the tangles here on this channel. And then you guys can go and join her on her channel. And she is going to do the putting them in the journal and talking about how that's going to work for you. There is going to be a Facebook group, which I already told her I would not be in charge of. And she's cool with that. So be looking for that. We'll have information out for you as soon as we can. I think we're going to be starting that on the 16th. So just a couple more days. All right. So I've got all of my boxes started. Now I'm going to do the second round of dividing. Let's just start over here. I think that might be nicer. Okay. All right, so continuing, here is the center line. And I'm going to make this meet up with that on both sides, okay? And so here's our center, so I think I'll put this down here. Now, I don't know what I'm doing really. Not really. I'm just sort of going with the flow here. That's all right. And so this one will divide here. Okay. So maybe if you're not comfortable with this kind of thing, go ahead and keep to the original pattern. And if you're more experienced, then you can try this shifting the center thing with me if you would like. So we want all of these lines to intersect, okay? Or not intersect, but, well, okay. Not really an intersection. We want them to match up. I don't know what's going on in my head lately. I just can't seem to form cogent sentences. It's not that I'm not able to, it's just they come out and they don't make sense. Maybe I'm stroking out on you. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. It's not a very funny joke, is it? All right, so I need to do this one and not get distracted. And I'm going to let this bend a little bit because of the center point here. And I'm going to go for halfway. Which wasn't quite halfway. And everything else is going to match up. So each time I go around here, we're going to be doing a set of dividing lines. All right. So this is where we are. I believe I have them all. Okay. It's just I know this is about to look cool here in a minute. Okay. Now it's time to add the little short lines. Okay. In between and on each section. So about halfway up. And this one will be really short. Okay, we're going to put one of these little short ones in each section, and as the sections get bigger, go ahead and extend this out so that it's about halfway. Okay. Oops, that didn't get very halfway, but okay, we're going to make it work. All right. So again, in each square, divide each section with a line that stops about halfway up. I have some really good tangles picked out for our project with Aish. You guys are going to really love them. I think I managed to find some that'll make us all happy. Maybe. Yeah, maybe not everybody. Some of you just like to be negative, but that's all right. I can take it. And let's face it, some of these aren't that great. Some of these videos have not been that great. But I appreciate you guys coming back for more, even so. So these are going to be really tiny up here. All right? But it's still going to work. Just keep moving your tile around and putting one of these little dividing lines halfway up in each section, okay? Just keep shifting the tile and continue. Remember, you want these to point at the side of the square. And as you finish each one, just move on to the next. Okay, just a couple more. I really got into that. That's okay. There are lots of things we can do about that, so we won't worry about it right now. Well, I think think I need to get some new glasses. Sometimes I can't tell that the pen strokes are not matching up. Maybe I did stroke out. I'm kidding. It's not a very funny joke, though, is it? That is not something I would wish for anyone. That's a terrible ordeal. So let's stop talking about serious stuff and get back to drawing. Straight lines, short straight lines, longer straight lines. That is all we're doing here, is drawing straight lines. Isn't it amazing that something pretty is going to come out of that? We are not having to plan or think too much. We're just turning our tile, drawing a partial line into each section, and moving to the next. All right. So here is my tile as it is now. And I'm going to go in and start connecting each of these short lines with the long ones, okay? They almost look like little swords, don't they, when you start that? And then they quickly turn into, a snowflake. Some type of a crystal. Some of your lines might be too short, some of them might be too long, but I encourage you to go ahead, take your time. If you have made what you perceive as a mistake, look at it as an opportunity to explore something new. That is a very hard place to get to, but if we practice it together, we will improve. And I say we because I struggle with so many of the same issues that everyone else has. So I'm just going to keep after it and keep trying. Whoops, I missed a section here. Let's go ahead and do this, and you'll see why, once I finish one of these weird squares, you'll see why I did this, changing the center point. It's going to look really cool, I hope. You have these really long rays that come down. And by doing that intentionally, we've added interest to what would otherwise be a fairly standard square grid pattern. I like the tangles that can be removed from the grid and stand on their own, and this one certainly can. This is looking cool, huh? Now I'll go in here in a minute and, fix up some of these places that have been messy. But let's quickly finish up. Taking my time, Cindy. I take a breath and breathe. I am going to now let my shoulders relax. I get my boy home tomorrow, so yay me. Simba is ready. He has informed me in no uncertain terms that old ladies are boring and only young boys are fun. And that's okay. I feed your butt, Simba. You are not a cheap date. He's the best dog I've ever had. He is just so exceptional in so many ways. Rottweilers rule. Telling you. All right. See how fun those are, though? The ones where we have shifted the focus, the center point around, make for interesting squares. Now, that may not be your thing, and you don't have to do it. You may do as you wish. As I always tell you, it is your art, and it is your decision about how you want to handle things. If If you want to do them the way I have done them, then go for it. If you do not, then do not do that. Make your own way. Find your own path. One of the things I think is best about Zentangle is that it will let you mold it to what you need it to be. It is so many different things to so many different people, and I think that speaks so highly to what they feel is important. And it isn't, you know, who deconstructs what pattern. They don't care. At least I don't think they care. What they care about is, you know, does this bring good to the world? Do you use it in a way that it enhances someone's life? Are you teaching it in a way that helps people to relax and enjoy drawing and enjoy making beautiful things? And I hope that that is what we are doing. So my goal isn't to have the best art, which is good. My goal is to help everybody here find a sense of peace and relaxation, find a sense of community with other people that are like-minded. And I believe we are doing that now. You guys feel free to read the other people's comments and jump in and answer. That is always fine with me. I do not know everything, and I frequently learn things from others who answer comments. So feel free to do that. If you know the answer or if you have an opinion, those are always welcome here, as long as they are given in a way that is kind. All right, I've just got 2 more boxes, but isn't this going to be fun? And we're just drawing straight lines. How much more zenful can that be? Turn your tile, draw a straight line. Turn your tile, draw a straight line. Thank goodness we're not aura-ing straight lines, as then I'll be in trouble. So you see, you can really put the center point wherever you want to. Okay? And whatever comes out is going to be fine. I'm looking for meta patterns here. I want to finish up. And then look, I think this is interesting. I think we have several tangles that give this type of a look when they're finished. And I'm having some wonderings about some other things. We'll see. We ended up with a grid pattern. It's not quite so gritty. Sometimes I'm funny. Well, at least I think I'm funny. So, okay, this is my basic tile. I am considering maybe blacking this outer ring here around the center, and that will help my stray line problem that I get in the middle here. I'm also considering blacking in these, what would you call them, interstices, the little spaces. And I think I'm going to do that and see what it looks like. None of the examples I saw had that, but that doesn't mean it won't work. Let's just find out.
I'm just good at caring too much. I'm just good at caring too much. Is it too much to ask that you be all mine? I never was good at sharing. I'm just good at caring too much.
Okay, that looks really good. I'm pleased with that. So I am going to put some line weight, if I can see, around one side of the center. Okay, not that much. Well, we'll deal with it. Okay. Now, you can decide to go ahead and just shade at this point, or you can do some embellishing on this if you would like. It is entirely up to you. When you do get to shading this, what you're going to do, it's pretty simple. All you have to do is pick one of these sides and shade that, and then skip one and shade. Skip one and shade. And so as you do each other one, it will give it that folded appearance. Okay? So just stroke some graphite in every other little triangle. And, you know, I am going to do mine the same on the same side on each one of these little elements, in that I'm going to shade the same side as I did on the other ones, or I will. And so just skip one and put a nice layer of graphite down, just a little bit. You don't want to get too much, or when you start blending it out, you will get overwhelmed by graphite, and you will have it in all of your little slivery diamond or triangle shapes. So just, go easy. I'm using an F pencil, so that's not quite as much graphite. And so I think I'm going to be fine. I will just be smoothing what I've got here out. All right. Yeah, I like it. I like it. So what do you guys think of this pattern? It's very simple. It can be a focal point, or you can put it in a grid. It's pretty. It's very, I get a wintry feel from it, or maybe you see something different. Maybe you see one of those pinwheels from the fair or carnival. Maybe you see a Christmas star. It doesn't have to look like anything. It can just be a cool geometric pattern, which is basically what it is. And remember that Zentangle is non-representational intentionally. What that means is representational means that your art looks like something in reality, like a flower or a bird or a tree or a branch or a leaf or whatever. Now, we do have a lot of patterns that fit into those categories. But we're always looking for repeating patterns so that the mind can relax itself and not be so focused on decision making. And so one of the decisions that you have is, what do I draw? And one of the fears you have is, this doesn't look like what I'm trying to draw. And so we remove that in Zentangle by not drawing anything specific. We're not looking for anything specific. Now, the things we do turn out looking like specific things sometimes, frequently, but that isn't the point. The point is to put down a repetitive pattern, relax, and make it something beautiful. And so that's where our focus is. We're not trying to make stars or flowers or anything like that. We just want to relax, make some straight lines, and have something pretty come out of it, or something cool. However you intend to look with it. I can't go so much with the pretty because we have so many guys in here. Not that guys can't like pretty stuff, but I try not to get too girly on us. We have a lot more guys than we used to. And I appreciate every one of you. Thank you. So I am still going through, skipping every other little triangle shape and shading the other. And I'm trying to do it in the same way on each one of these. You can change it up, but, that's up to you. There's nothing wrong with it. Do what you will. This is your art. And while we tend to do things a certain way and say, let's do things in this way, that doesn't mean you have to. I think Rick Roberts and Maria Thomas would be thrilled to know that Zentangle is so adaptable. They are. They understand what they have, and I think that's why they guard it so zealously. And again, I'm not talking about the patterns. I'm talking about the method that they use to allow people to access healing through this meditative journey for so many of us who have disabilities or age-related things, or maybe you're recovering from something, or right now with COVID-19, everybody's stuck inside. Whatever it is, we people that with creativity, we need a creative outlet, and this is a perfect way to be creative and productive and relax at the same time. And that's a good deal. Plus it's free. So, hey, it is possible to spend lots of money on stuff, but you don't have to. That's entirely your choice. Last one. And then we'll just blend this out with a tortillon. See if there's anything else fun we want to do. Again, I'm just putting graphite on every other little triangle shape. Okay. So now, what do we think? Not too bad, huh? And I love these, this one and this one in particular. They're so different and they have so much personality that I really like that. It's my new tortillon, and blend this. My Apple Pencil is coming today to go with my new iPad. I am so excited I can start digital drawing again. For those of you who like to draw digitally, there is lots of Zentangle available for you guys too. We have Zentangle Facebook groups that are for tanglers that do digital drawing. I know a lot of people that use Procreate in order to do tangling, and there I find nothing wrong with it, because as someone who has done that myself, there is a lot of skill that goes into doing that well. And and you are drawing stroke for stroke just like you are on pen and paper. And now they have new screen protectors out that give the feeling of paper. They have a little bit of tooth to them on the surface. And that is an awesome thing, because it made with the slick surface was one of the problems that I had drawing digitally, because I didn't have control of my pen strokes. There was no drag from the surface. And so as soon as I got one of these screen protectors that are matte, that feel like paper, oh, it makes a whole new world for that. So I am so pumped up and excited. Last year I did most of my thumbnails on Procreate for these videos. This way works, of course, too, and then I don't have to do an extra drawing, but I was using it to challenge myself to use Procreate. And so I've really enjoyed digital drawing. And so if you guys want to post pictures on Instagram for me to look at where you have done them digitally, that is cool. I have no problem with that whatsoever. I have a good friend who's a digital artist named Crystal Funk, and she lent me an image of something she did that I used for branding my content for more than a year. So, I am cool with digital drawing. All right, now that I have rambled and smudged out, blended most of this pencil, now we're getting something much more dynamic. And now I have to decide, do I want to do anything fun to sort of enhance these? I'm really tempted to do something in the middle. Once I start, I can't stop. So what I want to do is a crosshatch. But I actually really like that. Just a regular hatch. Just make it a little bit more interesting, because sometimes it's the small touches that make the biggest difference. And as an artist, when you take time with the little things, You're always more proud of your work when you're finished. At least for me, that is true. All right. Anything else? I saw that Marion on her step out had some with little dots going down. That really does dress it up. Like that on the dark side of the moon, if you will. That's kind of pretty. Sorry guys. That's very interesting. So that might draw some interest there. Just a couple of little dots. Okay. I don't know. I don't know. I may add those dots to all of this. I just don't know. I will wait and see. You guys post your art. Let me see. If you are new here, I put up an Instagram tutorial on how to post your art for me to see on Instagram. And so if you want to take a look at that, you can find it. I believe I put it in the 100 Days playlist for this year. So, all right, guys, that is it for day 38. Wow. And so tomorrow the kid comes back, the noise starts up again, and we will get moving. And then this weekend we will start our project with Aishwarya on Zentangle journaling. Now, a caveat to that. This 100-day challenge will continue. We will be incorporating our collaboration into the 100 Days project. So you don't have to worry about, I don't want to do journaling. Well, if you don't want to, you don't have to. We're still going to continue in the manner that we are. What we're doing is choosing a specific type of tangles over a few days that will fit in the string that they're using on the journal. And so, Aishwarya, if you are interested in doing the journaling, Aishwarya is really good at that, and so you might be able to pick up some tips from her. And we will continue to do the tangles here as we do, but then if you want to learn the tangles and jump over there and put them in your journal, then you can. And I have never done any journaling, so I don't know journal questions, but I bet she can help you out if you have questions, and she's a sweetheart, so don't worry about bothering her. She will be great. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow for day 39.